Have you ever wondered how a child raised in unimaginable luxury could become one of the greatest spiritual leaders in human history? Siddhartha Gautama, born into the opulence of a royal palace, embarked on a journey that began in the most unexpected of places, his own childhood. What drove this young prince to look beyond the golden walls of privilege and ask profound questions about life, suffering, and meaning? Welcome to this episode of Breath of Dharma, where we uncover the unique story of Siddhartha's early years and the moments that sparked his first inklings of awakening. Raised in a world of grandeur, Siddhartha's life seemed perfect on the surface. But beneath it all, his curious and compassionate nature couldn't ignore the deeper truths that lay hidden outside the palace walls. His childhood was more than just a chapter of privilege. It was the foundation of a lifelong quest to seek answers that would one day inspire millions. In this video, we'll dive into the heart of Siddhartha's early experiences, exploring how his connection to the world around him, his moments of quiet observation, his boundless curiosity, and his gentle compassion, formed the seeds of what would later blossom into enlightenment. This story matters because it shows us that even the most secure and comfortable lives can hold the unanswered call of something greater, a quest for understanding, growth, and transformation. So join us on this captivating journey into the childhood of Siddhartha Gautama. Together, we'll unravel the early signs of his awakening and discover how his story offers timeless lessons for our own lives. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Breath of Dharma as we continue to explore the rich heritage of Buddhist teachings. 1. The Royal Palace Life, Siddhartha Gautama's childhood of luxury and spiritual awakening. Siddhartha Gautama, later known as the Buddha, was born into a life of unimaginable wealth and privilege. As the prince of the Sakya clan, his childhood was shaped by the grandeur of a royal palace, a world meticulously designed to shield him from discomfort, suffering, and the harsh realities of life. But can material abundance truly nurture a soul seeking deeper understanding? Siddhartha's story teaches us that while luxury may provide comfort, it often leaves spiritual needs unfulfilled, paving the way for profound realizations. The world of royal opulence. From the moment Siddhartha entered the world, his life was enveloped in splendor. The palace itself was a marvel, a sprawling estate adorned with intricate carvings, lush gardens, and majestic halls illuminated by golden light. Every corner radiated beauty and perfection, symbolizing the immense wealth and power of the Sakya dynasty. Siddhartha's needs were met without question. His childhood was filled with fine garments, exquisite meals, and the best tutors to educate him. King Siddhartha, Siddhartha's father, ensured that the prince's surroundings were free of any discomfort or sorrow. The young Siddhartha was surrounded by attendants whose sole purpose was to cater to his every whim, creating an environment that fostered physical comfort but excluded emotional challenges. The king's intention was clear: to shield his son from witnessing suffering, pain, or imperfection. The shield of luxury. While Siddhartha's childhood seemed idyllic, this meticulously curated world came at a cost. The royal palace was not merely a place of comfort, it was a cocoon meant to protect Siddhartha from life's harsher truths. Buddhist teachings emphasize the concept of dukkha, or suffering, as an integral part of existence. Yet, for years, Siddhartha was kept isolated from such experiences, limiting his exposure to the realities that shape human understanding. This disparity between material abundance and spiritual awareness illustrates a key lesson: while wealth can mask suffering, it cannot eliminate it. Siddhartha's childhood in the royal palace highlights the tension between external ease and internal fulfillment, a theme that resonates across cultures and time. The hidden spiritual gap. As Siddhartha grew older, the limitations of his luxurious life became apparent. Despite his comfort and privilege, he began to sense an absence, a subtle but undeniable feeling that material abundance could not answer deeper questions about existence. Buddhist philosophy teaches that true peace comes from understanding the nature of life, not from avoiding it. Siddhartha's isolation from suffering only heightened his curiosity about the world beyond the palace walls. What set Siddhartha apart was his innate sensitivity and curiosity. Even within the confines of the palace, he noticed the fleeting nature of pleasure and the emptiness of indulgence. This awareness marked the beginning of his spiritual awakening, a realization that life's most profound truths could not be found in physical comfort alone. Luxury versus spiritual needs. The contrast between Siddhartha's royal palace life and his spiritual yearning underscores an essential lesson from Buddhist teachings: the impermanence of material wealth. The concept of anicca, or impermanence, reminds us that worldly possessions and pleasures are transient. Siddhartha's childhood serves as a powerful example of this truth. Despite having everything, he felt the call to seek something deeper. Modern psychological studies echo this sentiment, showing that happiness derived from material wealth is often short-lived. Researchers have found that individuals who focus solely on external achievements and possessions tend to experience lower levels of long-term satisfaction compared to those who cultivate inner awareness and purpose. Siddhartha's story aligns with these findings, illustrating the universal human need for meaning and connection. The seeds of awakening. While the royal palace provided Siddhartha with physical comfort, it also nurtured the early seeds of his awakening. His interactions with nature, his moments of quiet reflection, and his observations of the world around him revealed glimpses of life's impermanence. These experiences, though subtle, began to shape his understanding of existence. Buddhist philosophy teaches that suffering is an unavoidable aspect of life, yet it is through acknowledging and understanding this suffering that one finds liberation. Siddhartha's childhood shielded him from direct encounters with suffering, but it also fueled his desire to uncover life's deeper truths. This paradox, of protection leading to curiosity, set the stage for his eventual departure from the palace and his journey toward enlightenment. Lessons for modern audiences. Siddhartha's story offers timeless lessons for all of us, particularly those living in a world driven by consumerism and external validation. His royal palace life serves as a metaphor for the distractions and comforts that often prevent us from pursuing meaningful growth. While luxury and convenience can provide temporary relief, they cannot replace the fulfillment that comes from self-awareness and spiritual connection. In modern workplaces, for example, the pursuit of material success often leads to stress and dissatisfaction. Incorporating mindfulness and Buddhist principles, such as recognizing impermanence and cultivating compassion, can help individuals find balance and purpose. Siddhartha's journey reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from avoiding life's challenges but from embracing them with courage and insight. Beyond the palace walls. Siddhartha Gautama's childhood in the royal palace was both a blessing and a limitation. It provided him with comfort but also highlighted the gap between material abundance and spiritual fulfillment. His story teaches us that while luxury may shield us from discomfort, it cannot answer life's deeper questions. By recognizing this, we can follow Siddhartha's example and seek wisdom beyond the surface of worldly pleasures. As we reflect on Siddhartha's early years, let his journey inspire us to explore our own paths of awakening. Embracing life's challenges and seeking the truths that lead to lasting peace and understanding. For more lessons from Siddhartha's life and teachings, subscribe to Breath of Dharma and join us in discovering the rich heritage of Buddhist philosophy. 2. Childhood curiosity, the seed of Siddhartha Gautama's awakening. In the golden walls of the royal palace, Siddhartha Gautama's childhood might seem like a story of comfort and luxury, but it was also a testament to the power of curiosity. From an early age, Siddhartha stood apart from other children, not because of his princely status, but because of his innate sense of wonder. His curiosity wasn't confined to games or royal lessons, it extended to life's profound questions, seeking meaning beyond the material world surrounding him. The beginning of curiosity, questions beyond the palace. Unlike other children who might have reveled in the splendor of royal life, Siddhartha's mind was drawn to deeper thoughts. Every interaction, no matter how mundane, sparked questions. He would watch the servants working in the gardens and wonder about their lives, their joys, and their struggles. He often sat in quiet observation, captivated by nature's intricacies. How the wind rustled through trees or how a caterpillar transformed into a butterfly. These moments hinted at something greater, a hidden truth just beyond reach. According to Buddhist philosophy, this sense of curiosity represents beginner's mind, shoshin, a state of openness and eagerness, unclouded by preconceived notions. Siddhartha's innate ability to question what others overlooked marked the first step on his path to enlightenment. He sought to understand not only the world around him but also the forces that shaped it, laying the foundation for his eventual realization of life's impermanence and interconnectedness. Curiosity as the key to inner awareness. Buddhist teachings emphasize that curiosity isn't merely a surface-level trait, it is a bridge to self-awareness and understanding. Siddhartha's curiosity drove him to notice the subtle contrasts between appearances and reality. For example, while he lived amidst unimaginable wealth, he began to question whether material abundance could truly bring lasting happiness. Even as a child, he recognized that beneath the grandeur of royal life lay fleeting, impermanent pleasures. This insight aligns with the Buddhist concept of anicca, impermanence, which teaches that all things are subject to change. By observing the transient nature of his surroundings, Siddhartha's curiosity led him to a deeper appreciation of life's truths. Modern psychology echoes this, with research showing that curiosity enhances cognitive flexibility and emotional resilience, qualities that prepared Siddhartha for his transformative journey beyond the palace walls. Moments of quiet reflection, Siddhartha by the lake. One of the most iconic images of Siddhartha's childhood is his moments of solitude by the palace's lake. While others saw only a serene body of water, Siddhartha's curious mind turned it into a mirror of life's mysteries. He would watch ripples spreading across the surface, pondering how even the smallest actions create far-reaching effects. This connection to nature became a profound source of wisdom for him. Buddhist philosophy teaches that nature is a powerful teacher, reflecting the principles of balance, impermanence, and interconnectedness. Siddhartha's curiosity about the natural world deepened his understanding of these truths. For example, observing the cycles of life in the gardens, the blooming and withering of flowers, he began to comprehend the inevitability of change and the beauty it brings. From curiosity to compassion. What made Siddhartha's curiosity truly transformative was its progression into compassion. His questions weren't limited to intellectual musings, they were rooted in a genuine desire to understand and alleviate the suffering of others. He saw beyond the glittering facade of palace life and wondered about those who served him, what their hardships were and how they bore them. This empathetic curiosity became the foundation of his teachings on compassion and kindness. In Buddhist terms, this shift from curiosity to compassion mirrors the journey from prajna, wisdom, to karuna, compassion. Siddhartha's early experiences show us that curiosity is not a solitary endeavor, it is a path to deeper connection with others and the world. Modern neuroscience supports this idea, with studies showing that curiosity activates brain regions linked to empathy and social bonding. The universal lesson of childhood curiosity. Siddhartha's childhood curiosity carries a universal message, the power of questioning as a tool for growth. His story reminds us that curiosity isn't just for children, it's a lifelong practice that keeps the mind open and the heart engaged. By cultivating a curious mindset, we, too, can begin to see the world, and ourselves, with fresh eyes, discovering insights that inspire transformation. Buddhist teachings encourage us to embrace curiosity as a means of awakening. Just as Siddhartha's questions led him to profound truths, our own curiosity can guide us to greater self-awareness and understanding. In today's fast-paced world, taking a moment to reflect, observe, and ask questions can open doors to deeper fulfillment. Conclusion: the gift of Siddhartha's questions. Siddhartha Gautama's childhood curiosity wasn't just a phase, it was a spark that ignited his journey to enlightenment. His willingness to question everything, from the smallest details in nature to the grand structures of royal life, demonstrates the transformative power of curiosity. Through his story, we learn that asking questions isn't a sign of doubt but a pathway to wisdom. As we reflect on Siddhartha's journey, let it inspire us to nurture our own curiosity. Let us approach the world with wonder, seeking not just answers but deeper connections and understanding. For more lessons from Siddhartha's life and teachings, join Breath of Dharma as we continue to explore the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy. 3. Connection to nature, Siddhartha Gautama's deep bond with the natural world. Long before Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha, his connection to nature was a profound source of inspiration and spiritual awakening. As a child and young prince, Siddhartha lived amidst the opulence of a royal palace, but it was his encounters with the natural world that opened his heart and mind to the deeper truths of existence. From observing the subtle rhythms of trees and animals to experiencing the quiet serenity of nature's beauty, Siddhartha developed a sensitivity that fostered a sense of harmony and compassion, a cornerstone of his later teachings. The natural world as a teacher. Even within the confines of palace life, Siddhartha found refuge in nature. He would spend hours in the palace gardens, surrounded by blooming flowers, ancient trees, and serene ponds. These moments offered him a quiet contrast to the distractions and excesses of royal life. Unlike many who may take the beauty of nature for granted, Siddhartha's keen awareness allowed him to see the interconnectedness of all living things. Buddhist teachings emphasize the concept of interbeing, which suggests that all elements of life are interconnected and interdependent. Siddhartha's early observations reflected this wisdom. For instance, he noticed how the cycles of life, such as the blooming and withering of a flower, mirrored the impermanence of all things. This awareness of impermanence, or anicca, became a central tenet of his later philosophy. Through nature, Siddhartha began to understand that life is transient, yet each moment holds its own beauty and significance. Observing nature with a curious mind. Siddhartha's connection to nature was rooted in his natural curiosity. As he sat beneath trees or by the water's edge, he would observe how the wind moved the leaves, how the sun's light shifted through the day, and how animals interacted with their environment. These simple yet profound observations deepened his understanding of life's delicate balance. For example, Siddhartha once watched a bird build its nest, carefully placing each twig with purpose. This scene taught him about patience, effort, and the beauty of creation. Similarly, watching the ripples on a lake helped him grasp how even the smallest actions can create far-reaching effects. These early experiences with nature planted the seeds of his later insights into cause and effect, known in Buddhism as karma. Modern science supports the idea that time spent in nature enhances mental clarity, emotional well-being, and compassion. Studies have shown that exposure to natural environments reduces stress and fosters a sense of connectedness to the larger world. Siddhartha's experiences align with these findings, showing how nature can be both a sanctuary and a teacher. Fostering compassion through nature. Siddhartha's sensitivity to the natural world also nurtured his deep sense of compassion. Observing the struggles and simplicity of animals, he began to empathize with all forms of life. He saw how birds, deer, and even insects navigated challenges for survival, and this awareness strengthened his commitment to nonviolence and kindness, a principle he would later teach as ahimsa. In one notable moment, Siddhartha rescued an injured bird, tending to it with care and ensuring its safety. This act of kindness was more than a childhood gesture. It reflected his profound respect for life and his understanding that all beings, no matter how small, are deserving of compassion. This early bond with nature helped Siddhartha cultivate the empathy that would later define his teachings on loving kindness, or metta. Buddhist philosophy views nature as a living embodiment of interconnectedness and harmony. Siddhartha's relationship with the natural world exemplifies this ideal, demonstrating that compassion is not limited to human relationships but extends to all beings. Nature's role in Siddhartha's awakening. As Siddhartha grew older, his connection to nature became even more significant. It was under the Bodhi tree, a symbol of wisdom and resilience, that Siddhartha would ultimately achieve enlightenment. The tree provided shelter and served as a silent witness to his transformation, underscoring the profound role of nature in his journey. The Bodhi tree represents more than a physical place. It symbolizes the potential for growth, renewal, and awakening that exists within all of us. Siddhartha's choice to seek enlightenment in the natural world highlights the importance of reconnecting with the earth as a source of clarity and inspiration. Lessons for modern audiences. Siddhartha's connection to nature offers valuable lessons for today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. His story reminds us of the importance of slowing down, observing our surroundings, and finding harmony in the natural rhythms of life. Whether it's taking a walk in the park, tending to a garden, or simply pausing to appreciate a sunset, reconnecting with nature can help us rediscover balance and mindfulness. Buddhist teachings encourage us to see nature as a guide and a mirror of our own lives. Just as Siddhartha learned from the cycles of growth and decay, we can draw insights from the natural world to navigate our own challenges with grace and resilience. Embracing nature's wisdom. Siddhartha Gautama's deep bond with the natural world was more than a childhood pastime, it was a profound source of spiritual growth and understanding. Through his connection to nature, Siddhartha discovered the principles of impermanence, interconnectedness, and compassion, truths that would later form the foundation of his teachings. As we reflect on Siddhartha's journey, let his experiences inspire us to reconnect with the natural world and embrace its wisdom. In doing so, we not only honor his legacy but also create opportunities for our own awakening. For more insights into Siddhartha's life and the timeless lessons of Buddhist philosophy, follow Breath of Dharma and join us in exploring the path to mindfulness and harmony. 4. Awakening Signs, the first glimpses of Siddhartha Gautama's spiritual journey. Siddhartha Gautama's journey to enlightenment began not with monumental revelations, but with simple, meaningful observations from his everyday life. As a young prince shielded from the world's suffering, Siddhartha's first glimpses of awakening came through ordinary moments, ones that gradually illuminated profound truths about existence. These signs of awakening marked the initial steps on a path that would later inspire millions with timeless lessons of mindfulness, compassion, and liberation. The power of simple observations. Siddhartha's early awakening began with seemingly mundane encounters. His curious mind was drawn to the subtleties of life, how the sun rose and set, how leaves changed with the seasons, and how the lives of people and animals unfolded before him. These moments were not extraordinary, but their impact was profound. Siddhartha began to notice patterns in nature, cycles of growth and decay, and the inevitable impermanence of all things. In Buddhism, the concept of anicca, or impermanence, is central to understanding the nature of existence. Siddhartha's recognition of impermanence was one of the earliest signs of his awakening. Watching a flower bloom and wither, he began to grasp that beauty and life are fleeting. This insight inspired questions about the meaning of existence and the causes of suffering, a curiosity that would eventually lead him beyond the palace walls. Encounters that sparked awareness. One of the pivotal moments in Siddhartha's awakening came during his encounters with people outside the palace. Although King Suddhodana had carefully shielded him from suffering, Siddhartha began to notice cracks in the perfection of his surroundings. He observed the struggles of servants, the aging of his caretakers, and the fleeting joys of material indulgence. These encounters revealed that life, even in its most privileged form, was far from flawless. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of direct experience in understanding the truths of existence. Siddhartha's early observations reflected this principle. Each encounter with the realities of life, whether it was the sight of a laborer's worn hands or the quiet grief of a palace attendant, challenged his assumptions and deepened his awareness of suffering. These moments planted the seeds for his eventual teachings on dukkha, the pervasive nature of suffering in human life. Signs of awakening through nature. Nature played a significant role in Siddhartha's early realizations. Spending time in the palace gardens, he observed how interconnected all life forms were. He watched bees pollinate flowers, deer graze peacefully, and birds build nests with patience and purpose. These observations revealed a harmonious balance in the natural world, a balance that stood in stark contrast to the artificial perfection of palace life. The Buddhist concept of paticca samuppada, or dependent origination, teaches that all phenomena arise in dependence on other phenomena. Siddhartha's connection to nature helped him understand this interdependence. He saw that every action had consequences, every being was connected, and every moment carried meaning. These signs of awakening allowed him to view life through a lens of compassion and understanding. Quiet reflection and early insights. Siddhartha's moments of solitude were also pivotal in his awakening. By the palace's serene lake or beneath the shade of ancient trees, he spent hours in quiet reflection. These moments allowed him to process his observations and insights, turning curiosity into clarity. Watching the ripples on the water, he realized how small actions could create far-reaching effects, a lesson he would later teach as the principle of karma. These quiet reflections also deepened Siddhartha's understanding of mindfulness. The practice of observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment became central to his journey. Siddhartha's early mindfulness cultivated a sense of presence, allowing him to see the world as it truly was rather than how it appeared on the surface. Scientific perspective on awakening. Modern science sheds light on the transformative power of mindfulness and observation, key elements in Siddhartha's awakening. Neuroscience reveals that practices like mindfulness enhance cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. Qualities that Siddhartha demonstrated even as a young prince. Studies show that mindfulness increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and introspection, while reducing activity in the amygdala, the brain's stress center. These findings affirm the relevance of Siddhartha's awakening signs, showing that curiosity, reflection, and mindfulness are universal pathways to growth and understanding. His journey exemplifies the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern scientific insights. The universal lesson of awakening signs. Siddhartha Gautama's early signs of awakening are not confined to his story, they offer valuable lessons for all of us. His ability to find meaning in simple observations reminds us that spiritual growth doesn't require grand gestures, it begins with awareness. By noticing life's details, questioning assumptions, and embracing impermanence, we, too, can cultivate the seeds of awakening in our own lives. The path to awareness. The early signs of Siddhartha Gautama's awakening were rooted in the simplicity of life's moments, ones that revealed profound truths about existence. From the impermanence of a flower to the struggles of palace attendants, these observations guided him toward a deeper understanding of suffering, compassion, and interconnectedness. Let Siddhartha's journey inspire you to explore the awakening signs in your own life. Through mindfulness and reflection, we can uncover the lessons that each moment holds, transforming ordinary experiences into extraordinary opportunities for growth. For more insights into Siddhartha's life and teachings, follow Breath of Dharma and join us in discovering the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy. 5. Journey to Awareness, Siddhartha Gautama's Path to Understanding Suffering and Bliss. Siddhartha Gautama's childhood within the royal palace wasn't just one of privilege, it was the foundation of a transformative journey to awareness that would forever change the way humanity understands suffering and inner peace. The experiences of his early life, shaped by moments of curiosity, observation, and reflection, acted as the stepping stones that guided him toward his first profound realizations of life's truths. By examining how Siddhartha's upbringing led him to awareness, and connecting Buddhist philosophy with modern psychology, we uncover the enduring power of mindfulness and enlightenment. The seeds of awareness in Siddhartha's childhood. Siddhartha's early years were filled with protection and luxury, as King Suddhodana sought to shield him from the realities of suffering. The palace's opulence was designed to create an illusion of perfection, but Siddhartha's keen mind began to notice the cracks in this facade. His innate curiosity drove him to ask questions about the world outside the palace walls and the true nature of happiness. Even within his sheltered environment, Siddhartha began to sense the fleeting nature of pleasure and comfort. For example, he observed how the joy of receiving a new toy would fade over time, leaving an emptiness that wasn't filled by material wealth. These subtle experiences planted the seeds of his awareness, aligning with the Buddhist teaching of anicca, or impermanence. Siddhartha's early recognition of impermanence would later become a cornerstone of his journey to understanding suffering and finding inner peace. Encountering suffering, a turning point. While Siddhartha's first glimpses of awareness came from within the palace, it was his encounters with the outside world that deepened his understanding of suffering. On his famous journeys beyond the palace walls, Siddhartha witnessed the realities of aging, illness, and death. These encounters were a profound shock to someone who had been sheltered from life's hardships, but they also sparked a determination to uncover the root causes of suffering. Buddhist philosophy identifies these encounters as critical moments in Siddhartha's path to awareness. The recognition of dukkha, or suffering, as an inherent part of existence marked a turning point in his journey. Siddhartha's ability to embrace these truths without denial or avoidance exemplifies the Buddhist principle of right view, which involves seeing life as it truly is and understanding its challenges with clarity and compassion. Finding bliss through compassion and reflection. As Siddhartha continued to explore the nature of suffering, he began to uncover the potential for inner peace, known as Nirvana, in Buddhist teachings. His observations of people who found joy despite hardship revealed that happiness wasn't dependent on external circumstances. Instead, it came from within, through practices like mindfulness, compassion, and reflection. For Siddhartha, the realization that suffering could be alleviated through awareness and connection was a profound insight. This understanding of bliss, or ananda, is deeply rooted in Buddhist philosophy and reflects the interplay between acceptance and transformation. Siddhartha's journey shows us that while suffering is inevitable, it can be a pathway to growth and enlightenment when approached with mindfulness and compassion. The intersection of Buddhism and modern psychology. Modern psychology echoes Siddhartha's insights, providing scientific evidence for the power of awareness in reducing suffering and fostering well-being. Research on mindfulness practices, inspired by Buddhist teachings, demonstrates their effectiveness in managing stress, anxiety, and depression. For example, studies have shown that mindfulness strengthens the prefrontal cortex, enhancing emotional regulation and decision-making. Siddhartha's journey to awareness aligns with these findings, highlighting the universal relevance of his experiences. His ability to observe suffering without judgment and cultivate compassion reflects psychological principles of resilience and emotional intelligence. By connecting Buddhist philosophy with modern science, we see how Siddhartha's path offers timeless lessons for navigating life's challenges. Lessons for today's world. Siddhartha Gautama's journey to awareness isn't just a historical narrative, it's a guide for living with mindfulness and purpose in the modern world. His recognition of impermanence, suffering, and bliss reminds us to embrace life's complexities rather than avoid them. By cultivating awareness, we can find meaning in both joy and hardship, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for growth. In today's fast-paced society, Siddhartha's lessons are more relevant than ever. Mindfulness practices, such as focused breathing and compassionate reflection, provide tools for managing stress and building emotional resilience. These practices, rooted in Siddhartha's journey, empower us to approach life with clarity, balance, and an open heart. Siddhartha's gift of awareness. Siddhartha Gautama's journey to awareness is a testament to the transformative power of mindfulness, compassion, and reflection. His experiences teach us that understanding suffering is not about escaping it but about accepting it as part of the human condition. Through this acceptance, we can find pathways to inner peace and bliss. Let Siddhartha's journey inspire you to explore your own path to awareness. By cultivating mindfulness and compassion, we can transform life's challenges into opportunities for growth and enlightenment. For more insights into Siddhartha's teachings, subscribe to Breath of Dharma and join us in discovering the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy. Conclusion: Siddhartha Gautama's inspiring life lessons. Siddhartha Gautama's story beautifully demonstrates that even amidst the abundance of wealth and privilege, one can pursue profound awareness and understanding of life. His journey from the opulence of the royal palace to the path of enlightenment reminds us that true fulfillment lies beyond material comforts. Through curiosity, compassion, and a deep connection to nature, Siddhartha uncovered the universal truths of impermanence, suffering, and inner peace. This video explored Siddhartha's transformative childhood and the pivotal moments that planted the seeds of his spiritual awakening. From observing the cycles of nature to recognizing the struggles of those around him, Siddhartha's early experiences reveal timeless lessons about mindfulness, empathy, and the pursuit of meaning. These lessons encourage us to embrace life's challenges with courage and seek a deeper connection to ourselves and the world. But these insights are not just meant to inspire, they're an invitation to action. Let Siddhartha's story motivate you to reflect on your own journey and explore ways to bring mindfulness and compassion into your daily life. By learning from his experiences, we can embark on our own paths of growth and understanding, uncovering the life lessons that resonate with our unique journeys. If Siddhartha's story has touched you, don't let it end here. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and share it with others who seek inspiration. And don't forget to subscribe to Breath of Dharma to continue discovering profound teachings that enrich both heart and mind. Together, let's explore the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy and make these lessons a part of our lives.